From Detroit to the nations, you are listening to the world's #1 Christian station, Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
Hey, it's your girl Just Tanya, host of the realest new show, Dope and Saved. Dope and Saved is one of the realest shows out here. Sex, drugs, addictions, alcohol, homosexuality, nothing is off limits with me. Bringing souls to God one life at a time. You ready, God? Let's go get 'em. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is your girl, Just Tanya, and we are here in the beautiful downtown Detroit. A lovely 80-degree weather, and I'm sitting here with a sweatshirt on.
Yes.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Anyway, I got my girl, I am Cherie in the
Hey.
building. So, with this being the first show and whatnot, first I want to just say thanks for tuning in. You guys are beautifully beautiful. Just to give you a little background about me, I'm 25 years old. I am a recent graduate of Specs Howard. I love people, but I prefer children.
Yeah.
Let me see. There's not much to tell. I like to read, write, talk. Not much to tell about me. I'm rather outgoing, if I do say so myself.
Yes.
That's about it. A little background on the show. Oh, I love God. You don't love God?
I love God.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
But my friends know me as, this is literally what they call me, the unfiltered Christian. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm learning to accept it.
I think that they call you that because that's what you are. Like it's like you're not afraid to like talk about things. Like even though your dad's a pastor, you've lived the life. You've been out there drinking all that extra, because we young,
right?
You've been out there, you do it, and so by unfiltered, it's like you're not afraid to tell the truth about whatever the issues or whatever it is.
I agree. I mean, I've been through a few things. I was known as that stereotypical bad PK.
Yes. Speak, Lord.
Hey, speak to me. But by the grace of God,
Yes.
a change has come.
Yes.
But yes, that's what my friends call me, the unfiltered Christian. So I decided to go ahead and do a show based on just that.
Right.
Talking about what preachers and deacons and other churchgoers are scared to talk about, or even sugarcoat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like everything from sex to drugs, alcoholism,
yes,
rock and roll. I don't listen to it, but gambling,
yes,
all of that. Like nothing is off topics. Of course, in a respectful manner, please.
Yes.
Because I don't want to have to cut into you. So, with that being said, Cherie, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself? This is, by the way, the one and only host of We're Just Kicking It.
Sing that, girl. Yes. Follow me on Instagram. I_am_Cherie. SHERRIE. I mean, I'm just on here, because LaTanya asked me to be on here.
She's such a great friend.
I am. I try to be that to people that I want them to be to me. If I'm 100% with you, I prefer you be 100% with me. Don't be 99. That's all I ask. Don't be 99.
That song, Lord, I'm running.
Yeah.
Trying to make 100. You know that song?
No,
99 and a half won't do. No.
You like single?
I like old school gospel.
No,
sorry.
for real though. I graduated Specs Howard too.
Yes.
And I'm not a pastor's kid. However, I was in that world. I won't lie. I occasionally enjoy a drink, but I'm not an alcoholic. However, I used to drink a lot. Man. And if somebody say, hey, we got some, I'm coming through so I could sit in a room on a couch, laid back with the eyes low.
We
And
still
just keep it
working.
there.
We still working with her.
Still
I'm sorry,
working,
y'all. We
still working.
God's still working on that one. Ain't that
But
what
you know
Steve Harvey
what?
said?
I love the Lord.
Yes.
And when I say that I found God at 20, how old am I? 24. I found God at 22, and I've been in church all my life.
Sound pretty similar to me. I think I found God at 23.
At 20,
And I've been a PK for 25 years.
25.
So you know I've been in church for 25 years.
Literally 25.
I was in church
years.
before I was conceived, okay? Like, but
Listen.
so my question today, I have for you actually, Cherie.
What's your question?
Why? I have a few questions. We're going to touch on a few different topics today. My first question, because it's really been racking my brain.
Okay.
Why do some people feel as though Christians can't have good, genuine fun? Like,
Boo.
seriously.
You know what?
No, I'm not throwing no shade at anybody.
And I don't
well,
think
shade,
you are.
but no shade.
Because once again, this is your show, like your Facebook, right? It's your Facebook, right? Okay. And this is just your opinion.
Right.
Because everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But my opinion is I think that we take the word, the name, the title, whatever you want to call it. We take the Christian and we put it on a pedestal, right? And we say, well, Christians don't have fun. We don't go out and enjoy bowling because that's not what Jesus would do, right? WWJD.
Did they have bowling back then?
I don't even know, but I'm sure God will probably hit a
They
strike
probably
every time,
bowled
though.
a few pigeons or something.
Yeah, something, girl. But I think that people take the name Christian and they immediately make it deep. It's like you can't have fun. You got to go to church 7 days a week. You can't have fun with your church. It's literally put your skirt to your ankles, put a wrap over your head. That's it. That's your life. You worship God and that's it. But I don't know, but I know it's got to be something in the Bible that say don't be so,
Stuck up.
Don't be so don't be so consumed with heaven that you're no good on earth.
Hey, come on, somebody! I just got saved.
You stupid.
Yes.
I mean, don't be so caught up, like, oh, well, what would Jesus do? Don't be that person condemning the people all the time for having fun because we're young.
Right.
Even if you're 35, 45, I say 55 because, at 61, you can go get some ice cream for free. And that, my people, is considered a senior citizen. So
What?
At 45, 55, 65, whatever, you're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? It's called life lessons. But I don't think that there is God gives us all free will. And I think that people take that to, they take that to the extreme. They take it to another level. And it's like, why you so deep? Like, just lighten up. It's okay for us to have great conversation, you know what I mean, about a movie. It's nothing deep about it. And I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just saying my personal experience, if I'm watching a movie with somebody, we going to talk junk throughout the movie. Good, bad, holy, not holy, whatever. But the ultimate goal is that we were just having fun. It wasn't for us to,
offend anybody, right,
or whatever. And I think that people are so grounded in the church that they don't see that. It's like they lost their humorous side. When it was it was meant to be funny. It wasn't meant to offend. And if you do offend, then have enough to come back and say, you know what, I apologize. I didn't mean it like that. It was just a joke. Because although we joke, we have to remember that sometimes you can't offend people with what you say.
Right. And on top of that, we're still Christians.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we're still
But
Christians.
at the end of the day, just because your title is pastor, does that mean you don't listen to Barry Gordy or anybody else?
Barry Gordy wasn't a singer.
No. That's not who I'm thinking about. What am I thinking about?
I don't know.
Like, Barry White, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Barry White or
Al Green.
Yes. Or
Marvin
Luther
Gaye.
Vandross, any of them. Like, just because you're a pastor, does that mean you don't listen to that? Does that mean
No.
you listen to gospel?
Because let me tell you about Pastor Miller
24/7?
and his Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Temptations obsession.
Yes.
Okay? Grew up listening to them.
Yes.
They was on the same level as the Canton Spirituals and the Mighty Clouds of Joy every morning.
I'm done.
But, I feel like a lot of, because I'm coming to you as a young person, I feel like a lot of young people get to, I know for a fact.
Okay.
I don't feel like, I know for a fact that a lot of young people get turned off by that. They see these Christians and they see, they're walking like they have, something to prove, like they're on a high horse or whatever. And I know that turns off a lot of new Christians or curious people who's curious about God, and that turns them off. Like, you know, well, if I'm supposed to be a Christian, do I have to like just not have fun ever again?
You know what I think it is, not to cut you off, but I just got this. I think that for the new people, the curious people, I think that it's in their head. It's like me, you know, like I said, I have a drink every so often. Now, am I supposed to? Probably not. But if I have a drink, and if I'm a new Christian, somebody might be preaching or say something, you know, you wasn't supposed to consume that alcoholic beverage. That might turn me away because it's like I can't mess up. I can't mess up, and then
I'm not allowed to fail a little bit.
Exactly. I'm not allowed to do something I probably shouldn't have done, because quite frankly, everybody is sinning. Let me tell you, I know you sinning right now if you're listening to this radio show and you're judging whatever we're saying. Guess what? You sinning. So pineapples. Just like pineapples, peaches, and pears. Can I just say that? Honestly though, like churches turn people away. My opinion is because now all these churches is focused on being the big, being number one,
making money,
because
turn it into a business.
What's funny is and Juan could have probably helped me. Isn't there a story in the Bible where some church decided that they were going to be setting up different stuff and God came in flipping all the tables or something like that?
Oh, when they were in the church gambling and drinking, and Jesus came in there like,
well, hold up, this was
hold up, flipping tables. I love that story because I'm like, yes, Jesus, get him.
But ain't that what they doing now?
Yeah, that's exactly what they doing. They may not literally be rolling no dice. But I can guarantee you they might be taking some of your little tithes money, you know, skimming a little bit off top, talking about, you know, look, can I speak on it?
Speak on it.
That $1 billion jet. Like, what's wrong with just hopping on a regular airplane? You could fly first class. What's wrong with your old jet, sir? I really need to know, because I can barely pay off this Focus, and you asking for a bunch of millions of dollars for a jet.
But you know what? And that too, I will say that from experience, that as far as money wise, when you go to church, right, you got this good word in you, and they say, well, it's 7 people in here supposed to sow $100. You be like, well, I ain't got that, but okay, he gonna come down to my number. Then he say, well, it's about 6 of y'all who gonna give me $50, and God gonna bless you tremendously. Well, what? I only got $3.
Barely got that.
Does that mean God not gonna bless me? And that can turn people away from the church too.
You know what?
What? Hold
on.
What did you
Juan is making us get a Bible out. He about to turn to some scripture. Yes, Pastor Juan is in the building.
Yes.
But in the meantime, pass this to Juan. But in the meantime, I will say, I won't name names, I won't name drop or anything, but I went to a church with an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Okay.
I went to his church.
Okay.
And I was enjoying service. I was in the word. I was in the spirit. Mm-hmm. Then the pastor, he gets up and he says, if you have anything less than $50 in your pocket, we don't want your money. That is not going to help us. And I was like, well, I only came to church with $10.
How quickly did you come up out of worshiping Jesus? Like, hold on, Jesus. What?
When I say I looked at my boyfriend like, did he just say what I think he said? He's like, well, you know, you can't explain that. Yeah. No matter what you say, there's no way you can explain it.
Exactly.
If all I have is $10 and I'm willing to give you my last $10, that should be good enough.
Not only that, I'm sowing
I'm sowing into your ministry.
Exactly. I want to know that I'm sowing on good ground. I want to know that if I give you my last $10, that it's gonna be sown, so that way God could bless me for that situation. Because sometimes people give their last because they think, okay, the pastor said if I give my last, then
I know it'll be multiplied.
I know it'll be multiplied 70-fold and all that other stuff. But in reality, it's come on, say what it is. You know, look, we need $10 because we need a new roof. We need a new hot water tank.
And that's why I love my daddy, because he'll tell you I need to $5,000 by the end of the summer, and if you look around, you'll see why. Mm-hmm. We need to get these walls fixed, this roof fixed.
But every penny will help.
There's no limit. My daddy will take $1.
Yeah, sometimes people come in and that's all they got. You know, but like I said, it's all about sowing on good ground. And sometimes these churches who say, oh, well, you know, 50 people gonna get blessed if they give me $100. Like, well, how about my $10 can help?
Exactly.
And I'm willing to sow because I see that this ground is foundation, you know, and I can do, you know, God will bless me. However, sometimes when you do so, and I will say this, sometimes when you do so and you think you sowing on good ground, but you're not, although God honors the fact that you're giving, it kind of turns you away because it's like, well, why they sitting there saying they need a brand new roof, but the pastor drive a Bentley?
Preach. Oh, come on, somebody. I think I'm about to shout up in here.
I just got
That's just saying. You know, when we were talking about the temple earlier, Pastor Johnson found it for us. So if you guys want to go back and look, it's coming from Matthew 21. I'm starting at verse 12. I'll even read a little bit. And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and brought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them sold doves. Jesus was tearing that temple up, honey.
He sure was.
And said unto them, this is Jesus speaking, so y'all listen real close. It is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves.
Yes.
Oh, good God. So you mean to tell me these people that went into this holy, sacred church where we're supposed to pray for others, pray for ourselves, worship God, and y'all drinking, gambling, a den of thieves, he called it. So, y'all stealing?
Will a man rob God?
And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. So even through that, listen, I don't know if this is what it means, but what I just took from that, this verse, what is this? Verse 14, and the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. These people ticked Jesus off. They made him mad. And as mad as he was, he's still helping people. He's still healing people. Listen, come on, somebody. Because now that's going to bring me to my next topic of discussion.
What?
Why is it so hard for Christians, people period, but really Christians, to forgive other Christians? It's like they make it more difficult. Maybe it's because they don't expect a Christian, somebody who believes in the same God that they do, somebody who prays to the same God, to hurt them. So when it happens, you know, they just like, well, you my sister in Christ and I love you, but no, bye. I just can't. But Sister Betty, it's not that serious. Like,
I think that if everybody got what's the word I'm looking for? If everybody could accept the fact that forgiveness don't have nothing to do with the other person, but it's for you.
All about you.
Because what if God decided, I don't want to forgive this sin? What if you went out and you committed adultery? And God said, nope, I don't want to forgive you today. I think that right there of all things would give people a whole nother look on forgiveness.
Exactly.
Because
that's what
God
I tell
forgives
people.
you no matter what. But and then another thing is, I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. And so don't get me wrong. When my mother decided that she no longer wanted me, right? I hated her for a long time, and I could never forgive her. I said, oh, no, this is the unforgivable. Like, honey, if I was Jesus, I would have struck you down a long time ago.
God, you ain't
know
Jesus.
What I mean? Oh, right. I'm just saying. And that's the thing. I'm not Jesus. I'm man. I'm a woman, but I'm saying in biblical terms, I'm the person. I'm just human. You know, sometimes it can be harder for me to forgive. And when I finally forgave her, when I say that literally too much peace fell on me, it was like, whoa, okay, I'm good. I got enough peace. Give it to somebody else. It's not about forgiving that person to make them feel good, because you can wrong me all day and I say, okay, well, I forgive you, and you can say it, I forgive you, but if you really don't forgive that person, then it's like, well, what you say it for?
Right. What people don't realize is that like Cherie did mention, forgiveness is for yourself. I've been in situations where people have hurt me and I have not forgiven them, and they moved on.
Exactly.
They've forgotten what they even did, and I'm still sitting here hurting, complaining, and sad about what you did to me. And it wasn't until after I forgave you for hurting me that I found genuine happiness. I was like, all right, well, they did this, that, and the other. We're not friends anymore. That's okay. But thank you, Jesus, for this peace that I feel. Just like you said, I hated That's a strong word.
Yeah.
My best friend and I fell out because she accused me of doing something that I did not do. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad at her that my mindset was, well, I might as well just go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. If you think I already did it, I'm going to go do it. I didn't do it. Thank you, Jesus. Ain't no telling what could have happened from that. But I was so mad at her. Mm-hmm. Like, how dare you? We've been best friends for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. And you're accusing me, like, you know me. You know I would never do this. Mm-hmm. And she moved away. She started a whole new life. She was living good. And I'm just sitting here, like, every time I saw her post on Facebook, like, I hate you. Like, you're a jerk, ma'am. Like, you suck. You're stupid. Like, but that was, like, my whole unforgiving mindset. And she just like, la-di-da, you know, I'm living a good life. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I hope a train hits you. Like...
Wow.
But yeah, like, I was so mad at her. But it wasn't until I went to God about that problem. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know, it was petty. I do admit it was petty. And I want to move forward. Me and her actually had to sit down and talk about it. Mm-hmm. And we're not friends now. But that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that now. We'll probably never, ever be friends again because, girl, bye, you're not about to accuse me of something. But... now I can honestly say I still love her and I want the best for her. And I just wish her well, you know?
So, here's my question to you. Dang, I just, like, had a whole brain fart. I think that because we're Christians and it's, like, kind of outlined, you know what I mean? It's like describing to somebody who's never had lemonade what lemonade would taste like, right? Mm-hmm. But you're telling that person what lemonade would taste like from what you've tasted.
From what I've tasted, right? Not knowing that's somebody else.
So I think that down the line, when you become a Christian, you have somebody who's kind of like pinpointing every little thing you probably should and shouldn't do.
Because they've been a Christian
for so long,
right.
And this is what they're doing. So my question to you is, if I come to you and I say, well, forgiveness is for yourself and not the other person. Me, you know, saying, coming back from you never forgiving your friend or you know, the fact that she's moved on, you never forgive your friend. If forgiveness is for you and not the other person, then why, like, what am I holding on to? Why should I forgive them if they gonna move on anyway? Like, if they gonna move on and forget and I move on and forget, then what's the whole point of forgiving them?
Well, if both of y'all are moving on and forgetting, then I guess you kind of have forgiven them, I would say. But what I took from your question is, what benefits do I get of forgiving you?
Yeah, that's
your question.
Yeah.
Peace. Like, holding a grudge against somebody can come at you in so many different ways, like physically, mentally, emotionally. It can drain you because you end up becoming so consumed with your anger and your hatred towards that person that you can barely live your day-to-day life.
That's true.
So that's why you have to forgive them. Yeah. Because this person is out here living it up, living a good life, and you almost on your deathbed thinking about what they did to you. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you want to forgive them? So that you can be like them and move on and have a great life. What's meant to be will be. If you guys are meant to be friends, eventually y'all are going to be friends. Mm-hmm. If you, like, and then what people don't understand is people come and go for a season, like particular season, for a reason.
Yes.
Me and her may have been friends for 10 years, but our season was up. Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot during that friendship, and I thank her for it. Mm-hmm. But that season's up. And now it's helped me move on to be a better friend to the new people who are coming into my new season, because I see that this person, even though they're having a good life or whatever, spiritually, they're not where I attain to be. They're not where I would like to be. Right. They're still, you know, they go to church, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they do that and they still drink and they still smoke and don't care. Mm-hmm. It's not like they don't want to do it anymore. No, they don't care that they do it because they feel like going to church is good enough. So when I started asking God to bring me some new friends that was of him, that's when me and her fell out. Mm-hmm. And he brought me friends like my friend Tanai. Mm-hmm. I met her 2 years ago through my cousin Brittany. And me and her were on the same page. We were both partying, drinking, all that stuff. We were both on the same page. And we never fell out, but we never became cool.
Okay.
And like a whole year went by, and me and Tanai would just see each other at either my birthday party, hers, or my cousin's. And one day, I think it was earlier this year, I invited Tanai to my birthday party, my 25th. I turned up.
You did.
But that turn up was for a turnover. Jesus turned my life around after my 25th birthday.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day. I invited her to my 25th birthday.
Okay.
And she kept saying, yeah, I'm going to come. Yeah, I'm going to come. This is my friend Tanai. Yeah, I'm going to come. Yeah, I'm going to come. And she never came. Why didn't you come? Beg your pardon? You irritating one. And I'm like, why didn't you come? And she was like, well, the honest to God truth is that I just feel like Jesus was telling me I shouldn't be there. Ma'am, I may not be on your level, but I've been in church 25 years. You could have told me that. I would have understood. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't realize was that simple conversation me and her had led into like this beautiful friendship that we have now. Like it's gotten to the point where we've prayed together, we've studied together, we go to church together. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have any other friends like that. No offense, Cherie.
That's okay.
You have a husband and a baby you got to take care of.
That's okay.
But I don't have any other friends like that. So, God ushered out that old best friend to usher in this new best friend who I could see myself going places with. Like, taking this Christian thing by storm.
Yeah.
Because she is now a kind of like a business owner. Mm-hmm. That's what I aspire to be. Like, God is placing people in my life for what he wants me to be in life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just think it's beautiful. And it's crazy because my cousin, Brittany, I can name drop because I can. That's my family. My cousin Brittany introduced me to Tanai. And now me and my cousin Brittany are beefed out. Mm-hmm. So I'm still working on forgiveness because I'm still mad at her for what she did. And she's mad at me too, which is why I can name drop. She don't mind telling this story, so I don't either. And I felt like I couldn't go to Tanai because she's still friends with Brittany. Not as close as they were, but she's still friends with Britt. And Tanai called me, and she was like, what's going on with y'all? Like, you can cut the tension, like, with a steak knife. Like, it's bad. What's going on with y'all? And I told her the story, blah, blah, blah. It's not really that big of a deal. But I told her the story, and she's like, I'm sorry to tell you, like, this is what you've been praying for. Mm-hmm. You prayed for God to usher people out of your life, whether they were friends or family. That's legit what you said. Mm-hmm. And I had to think about it because that was my prayer. Yeah. Like, God, like, X all of them out. And friends, family, whatever. I don't care.
It's funny that you mentioned seasons because it just got dark real dark in here. It's funny you mentioned seasons because the older we get, the more God is just so amazing. Mm-hmm. And the older we get, the more literally God just like starts unraveling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You start being more specific with your prayers, you know, because the end result is that God just, he's love. And how can you say that you're a Christian, you worship God, and you can't love? And I'm not throwing judgment at you, but forgiveness is a part of that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I definitely agree with Tanai, because if you asked God, you know, God, as hurtful as this might be, I need you to eliminate these people in my life who are causing me to be depressed, who are causing me to literally rip my hair out and all of this, who are pulling me further, because, you know, God is a jealous God.
Oh, I know.
And if he feels like you're paying too much attention to one thing, honey, he will snap you up out of it so quick before you could even get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, and keep it pushing.
Amen, okay?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so all of that to say, everything's a season. Mm-hmm. Friendship is a season. The only thing, and even marriage, going about marriage is a season, because in one season it can be dry, it can be real difficult, and that's the same thing with friendship. That's the same thing with any relationship. At times there can be dry seasons where literally you guys are at each other's neck. You're like, dog, everything you do is irritating me, and it's like, oh God, just please get me out this season. And so when you break up with somebody, that's God telling you, honey, your season with this person is over.
Right.
When you're not talking to the same, when you're not talking to the same family members as close as them, as close to them as you once were, that your season is over. And it doesn't, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're family, it doesn't matter if we're blood, water, whatever. It's
about God.
It's about God.
And if you're not on the same path as I am.
And then not only that, it's like you said, and honestly, can I just say I really respect Tana. I don't know her. But I
know she listening. I know she listening. She all right.
I honestly respect her because it was very, it had to be very difficult to tell somebody that you really want to party with. Like, I can't. It wasn't for me. And although I really wanted to come turn up with you, because we homegirls, that's what we do. We turn up. And although I really wanted to do that, I just couldn't. And I don't think that, yes, I understand that you did get upset, like, dog, you know, why you couldn't tell me that? But at some point you had to realize, like, wow. Like, this, I don't care if we friends for 70 years and then that season's over. I will always respect you for that because you had enough to come pull me out of it, like LaTanya. Now, I know we girls, and I have to tell you, I just couldn't come to your party and turn up with you like that. Now, if I came, I would have been tempted. I could have probably picked up a bottle or whatever the case may be.
We had a few.
You know,
she could have.
But that's the thing.
But that's the whole purpose.
And the
it was
thing is,
there, and she didn't want to.
Exactly. And she, if you think about it, she pulled you. That was your blessing.
You know what
she
I told
pulled
her?
You.
I've told her that small little 10-minute text conversation that she and I had helped me to turn my life around because I said, well, first of all, Tanaya is younger than me. She just turned 25 June 24th. Happy belated. She's younger than me. So for her at that time to tell me she can't go because God told her not to. Yeah. And she was just getting into church and all this stuff. And, like, it made me do a self-check. Like, Tanya, like, really? Dog, you've been in church 25 years and you don't hear God? How come? Okay, I need to be more like Tanai. I'm sorry. Yeah. And in me wanting to be more like Tanai, I've ended up wanting to be more like Jesus. Yeah. And I'm so thankful.
Can I just say that is so amazing because I met you June 2nd. No. Yeah, June 2nd. Yep. I started class June 2nd. I met you June 2nd.
Of last year.
And what's amazing to me is that it's like meeting somebody and that's the person that you met, first impression. This is who you know. You know what I mean?
What was my first impression of you? Or what was your first impression of me? I'm scared where this is going.
I'm gonna get to that.
Oh God!
But to literally see somebody change right before, it's like watching a child grow up. You know what I mean? Not calling you a child, but I'm saying like
just did, but it's okay.
Just to literally watch somebody literally change your life around. Right. Like, although I know you were for God, because I come to your church a lot last year. Although I know you were for God, I know that, you were on fire and, your father's a pastor and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, she's really on fire for Jesus. And, to hear you talk about your lifestyle, you're like, okay, is she really on fire for Jesus? Like, what's up? But to see you literally living for God, to see you talking about God, to literally watch you be that person that you say you are is amazing.
Let me tell y'all where she coming from. This time last year, I was a hot mess. Yeah. I could have cussed you under a table. Yeah. I was ready to fight at the drop of a hat. Like, my mouth itself was horrible. Like, I could put a sailor to shame. Yeah. I know I can. I'm not ashamed of it.
And I only knew her for a year.
I'm not ashamed of that because that's part of my testimony. Exactly. So I don't mind telling it. I could drink you under a table. Yeah. Like, I could literally drink up a whole liquor store and still be standing. Yeah. And now, with God's help, just the thought of alcohol makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah. Okay? Like, this is where Cherie knew me. She knew me right before my turnaround. Yeah. So she got to see both sides. So literally. She's a witness to the amazement of God.
It is very amazing because literally, although we didn't hang out 7 days a week, to watch somebody who was like, like you said, drinking, doing whatever you did, you know what I mean? And just not caring. You know what I mean? To seeing somebody change around and care, on fire, want to save soul. Because when I first met you, you was like, I don't like people.
I hated people.
I really don't want to talk to you, but I'm being forced because we're in class
sitting
together.
right next to
we
each
sitting
other.
right next to each other. And it was funny
Yo, I
is
was mean,
our
yo.
friendship evolved. You know, no, we're not the best of friends yet, but
Oh God.
our friendship evolved because that's how you were. Like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. I'm just here. I paid my $17,000 like the rest of y'all, and that's it. But to see you come like literally change around, not because nobody made you. You did it because it's like, okay, God, for real. Whatever the situation that made Tanai, her, I think,
Lord, I thank you, Jesus,
I
for
think
Tanai.
that if Tanai had never been honest with you, not saying that you would be, but there's a possibility that
There's
your
a strong
past would
possibility.
still be trickling.
It wouldn't be a past. It'd be my
still
present.
be.
I probably wouldn't even be here at Worship Center. Thank you, Dr. Rhoda. I wouldn't be here like right now.
Yeah.
Because what time is it? It is 2:56. That was happy hour for me.
Yeah.
Any hour was
It's
happy
5
hour
o'clock
for me.
somewhere.
Somewhere in the world. So I can tell you right now, I'll be at somebody bar with somebody I ain't supposed to be with.
Yeah.
Drinking something I ain't supposed to be drinking. Saying stuff I ain't supposed to be saying.
Just all out of the will of God.
Listen, all types out of the will of God. But little did I know that while I was out of the will of God, I was walking and talking myself right into his will. All of this, my past, everything I've been through, he already knew that. He already set that up.
And what's funny is your heart wanted it, which is,
Yeah.
as an adult, that irritates me. Can I just say that? Because it's like, my heart is saying one thing, but my head, my body movements
My
is doing
peers,
something
right.
completely different. And although my heart, can I just say, I just really love God. And I think that, and what's funny is, I said this when I was praying this morning. I said, God, if you don't never do anything else for me, can I just say I'm still gonna love you,
And you
and
done
I'm
it.
still gonna wake up and say thank you?
This is me clapping. Hallelujah.
You silly. Because it's literally like, and what's funny is you was doing all of that and God was still standing. You can make your bed in hell and God will still be right there.
And he'll find you there.
He will
that was
find
a
you.
song.
Is it?
Yeah. If
Here
you make
she
your
goes.
bed
She
in
about to
heaven,
sing again.
he'll find you there. We sing it in our church choir. Yes. But
That is crazy
yeah,
to
it's
me.
just, God is just simply amazing. And it does my heart good. Cherie was right. I hated people.
You did.
I only loved little kids. So in my church, I never worked with anybody else but little kids.
Yeah.
And that was only because I was forced to work with somebody.
Exactly.
Okay, so give me the babies. I'll work with them because they're sweet, precious, innocent. And it's like, as I started evolving, it started to do my heart good to see teens come up to me. Like, I had a girl. She went to my church a long time ago when she was younger. She stopped going. Now she go to some other church. I'm just glad she's in church. But she texted me. I didn't even know she had my number. But she texted me, and she was like, I just want to say that you may not know it or you may not even remember me, but you've been a blessing over the last couple of months of your life. She's like, I knew you before you knew God. And she was like, and to see this, like, you've made me want to grow closer to him. And I didn't know that she was watching me. And she had to be about 19. And I said, okay, I don't like people, but this made me feel good.
Yeah.
It made me feel good to know that somebody other than a child was watching me and proud of me.
Yeah.
Okay, God, I work with people. And now all of a sudden I have people older than me, 40, 50-year-olds, asking me for Christian advice. And I'm just like, 25-year-old me? Little old me?
Right.
Like, word? Oh, okay. Well, come on, let's open the Bible. And it feels good. I never thought that me working with people my age or older, or even like right below me, would make me feel good. And so I say that to say this. I feel like that's what God had planned in my life. This whole time I was just hating people. He was just not even finding. He was helping me find a way to end up loving them. And I love most people. I love everybody. But I like most people. You know, I'm a lot nicer than I used to be. Because,
Yes.
Lord, I was a jerk. God, I'm a whole lot nicer than I used to be. It's more genuine now. If I was nice to you back then, it probably wasn't sincere.
Can I just say that I feel like because you and Tanai, you know, y'all friends. And what's interesting is that in your group of friends, you start to see people who like the old you, who like the new you, who wants you to be that old you, and people who wants you to be. You have friends like that. And what's funny is that night Tanai could have came, and y'all could have turned up. But would that affect her salvation? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And not only that, for her to, I'm just really blown away because although it might not seem big, it was like, no, hold up, homegirl. I really wanted to come turn up with you. Do not get me wrong. My flesh was like, yes, you got some Ciroc.
That's exactly what
some
she
Amsterdam.
said.
What you got? I'm coming through. But to see, you know, she like, no, I'm really trying to get my life together. I'm really trying to be for God. I'm trying to be that person my heart is. And what's funny is now y'all connect. But if you stayed in that lifestyle,
I could have easily dragged her down. How about that?
Because temptation is
like that. That's a strong weight to carry on your shoulder.
Yeah.
To know that you, and I know they say like you don't have a heaven or a hell to put me in, but people can be influenced, and people can drag you out of your salvation.
Not only that,
and so to have that weight on your shoulders, like this girl was on fire for God, and now because of my little party, she just
sometimes you're the only Bible people see. Sometimes you're the only
church people go to.
I'm not saying that you're God, but sometimes you're the only God people see, and so to not I don't even know. Like, that's just because I think if more people were honest, you know, and I really applaud her. And, you know, I'm really not jumping on her bandwagon, but I am because I need to be like that. Like, no, baby, no. You want to walk with God and I'm walking with God.
Yes.
We're going to do this thing together and we're going to do it right. Now, if you're not with that, I ain't saying I don't love you. I ain't saying I don't want to be your friend, but just know, don't invite me to your party. Please stop sending me game requests on Facebook.
Oh, girl.
Because I don't want, I'm just saying though, if it's all about who you know and it's all about knowing you. And she knew you were trying to get right with God. But you turned 25 and it's like, hey, I got to turn that because I'm 25.
I turned 25.
You turned 25. And she like, I understand that, baby, but I can't do that. And so I think that's another reason why it's so hard to forgive, because it's like you said, it's such a weight on your shoulder. Could you ever have forgiven yourself if Tanya decided to come to your party and get turned up?
First of all, Tanya didn't have a conscience.
Yeah.
I could do something to you horrible and not care.
Yeah.
But knowing I dragged somebody out of their salvation, considering the fact that I grew up in church, I would have never been able to live with that. Ever. And that's about one of the only things I could never be able to live with.
Right.
Pray for me. But,
that's crazy.
Yeah, she gonna text me later, I already know, on some sap stuff. Ugh. But I love her and I thank God for her. I'm still working on the whole forgiveness thing because I'm human. We're all human. And that's my whole point. I want y'all to know that it's okay.
Yeah.
To be human. God expects us to be human. He doesn't expect us to be perfect. He just expects us to try.
What? Wow. That's where young Christians get it wrong. Because it's like being Batman. You know, I'm a superhero.
Yo, Batman fine.
He is.
I don't know what he look like, but he fine.
It's like being a superhero. But it is, though. It's like being a superhero and everybody looks at you as a superhero. You know what? Even better yet, it's like being Beyonce or Jay-Z. You know, they're celebrities. But something Beyonce said that I respect her for, and if she ever hears this broadcast, I really salute her. I was watching a documentary of her, and she said, she was talking about her miscarriage with her child. She said, my fans don't think that I'm supposed to cry. They don't think that I'm supposed to, I just lost my baby, you know, but I have to smile, but I'm still human. And I think that people take Christian, it's like, I'm superhero, I can't be human, I can't mess up. When in reality, honey, being a Christian is like being a husband. It is a title that can quickly be diminished, you know, with honestly, I mean, it's like you're still human. Even though your pastor is preaching, he's still a man. He still has
First and foremost.
And
he will always be a man.
Exactly. He's not God. He's not Jesus. What he is he's standing in for God to give you the word, to give you instruction.
People mess up a lot. Like they look at their pastors or their bishops or whoever, you know, apostles, whatever. And they think they're pretty much second in command to God, forgetting that these people are only human, baby. They put them on a pedestal. I truly believe that some people worship their pastors over God.
You better say that.
They put their pastors on a pedestal above God. Mm-hmm. And your pastor can just do no wrong when he's sleeping with Sister Betty, Sister Mary. Mm-hmm. He may be even sleeping with Deacon John.
Oh, you better say that.
Your pastor is human, honey.
Not Deacon John.
He's not God.
Yeah.
That's where we need to start putting God first. Mm-hmm. We need to put God back in, first of all, because now I'm about to go off into a whole nother tangent. Put God back in schools.
Yes.
One of the greatest things my parents ever did for me was put me in a Christian school because it taught me how to pray around other people.
Yeah.
And when I went to a public school, I felt so out of place.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. I'll never forget this. My freshman year in high school, me and my friend Shira were walking down the hallway singing some gospel song. I think it was Long As I Got King Jesus, as a matter of fact. And my principal stopped us and was like, I never want to hear you singing that again. And I'm like, but at my old school, this was our turn-up song. Right. What you mean I can't sing to God? That's who I worship. Mm-hmm. Y'all recognize these Jewish holidays? Mm-hmm. And you tell me I can't sing to God? Mm-hmm. No, this school ain't for me. And it got to the point where, just so y'all know, I kept singing because you're not about to shut me down when it come to God.
I know that's
right. I kept singing. I got a detention, but I kept singing. Mm-hmm. But that led to me. This was before my rock bottom. Mm-hmm. That led to me wanting to start like a Bible class in high school. Mm-hmm. To have young Christians come together and worship without our principal, who other than that, he was a bomb.com. Like, he was an awesome man. Mm-hmm. Other than that, and it led us to want to go somewhere and just worship freely. Yeah. And that school was so much worse than my private school. I went to Southfield Christian. Hey, y'all. It was so much more fighting. I'll never forget when we had the cops come up there because a young boy brought a gun to school ready to shoot up all the black people. That's it. That's all he wanted was the black people, not the Chaldeans, the Asians. He just wanted to shoot the black people. I had never been to a school like this. And I lived in Novi. I went to Ward Lake Western. When people hear that, they think, oh, my God, that bougie school. No. Like, this is a school just like any other with kids just like any other from all walks of life. We had drug busts and bomb threats and people vandalized the school. Somebody set our freaking school on fire. Like these kids was bad, okay?
That's funny.
And I just was not used to that. Mm-hmm. And I think that also played a part in my route to rock bottom. Mm-hmm. Because I surrounded myself with people like that. I fell in love with the drug dealers and the gangbangers. I was like, Daddy, I'm in love with a thug. Sorry. And God, if I could go back and do it all over again, I promise you I wouldn't. I promise you I would not. Because it taught me so much. It taught me to respect myself eventually. Mm-hmm. I had to go through some, what is it? You got to kiss a few frogs to get your prince. Yeah. My prince is Jesus. You already know what I'm going to say. I'm married to God.
Or Kendrick Lamar, if you're listening.
Yes, Kendrick Lamar. Hey, K-Dot. But, I don't know. I don't even know. It just taught me so much about myself that only my parents could tell me all day. Mm-hmm. But until I hear it and I see for myself, I have to respect myself. I have to love myself. Or nobody else will.
I have to say this because I think that as young Christians, as young women.
Young Christian women. Right.
I think that when you hear the word Christian, it's like, oh, she got it all together. Let me tell you something. The walk with Christ is an amazing
journey.
No. It is an amazing, difficult journey.
That's what I tell people. I know my words are this
because it's worth it.
My words are this is an amazing journey. Yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
It
but
is.
The road on that journey ain't easy.
Because not only that, if we all became Christians and we just walked with Jesus and life was just all lollipops and sunshine
and unicorns
Yay. Absolutely, unicorns with gold.
Yes.
If life was that, everything would be great.
It would be. But lessons
as long as you
learned?
Exactly.
What would you know about yourself?
As long as with everything comes a test. You know, with you forgiving your cousin, that's a test.
I ain't forgive her yet.
I know.
So I'm gonna be real honest, because this is what we're supposed to be.
Exactly.
I have not forgiven her.
But that's a test. How do you know you are? How do you know that it's like taking a gander? That's that pineapple juice, girl. It's slapping, ain't it? How do you know that once you forgive your cousin, you could be blocking your blessing by not forgiving her?
I could be.
Is it worth it?
It's not worth it, but at the same
Ain't no
time,
but.
no, there is a but, because I want people to know this is me.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn.
Yes.
I'm very stubborn.
Yes.
I'm very headstrong.
Yes.
And God could tell me all day to forgive her.
Yeah.
But until I'm ready to, I'm not going to. No offense to God. You know, He knows me. He made me, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Just like, this is what I was going to say. God was telling me to get rid of her for a long time. I had been praying to her over and over, and I already knew that she was not supposed to be in my life, at least not for this season. You know, who's to say she can't come back in another season? But I already knew it, and I wasn't trying to hear it. God had been showing me signs. Mm-hmm. He had been telling me. And I ignored God on that. When it came to that, I was like, I ain't trying to hear that. Like, that's my cousin. I grew up with her. Mm-hmm. Like, we used to bathe in the same bath water at the same time. Like, that's my sister. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my dad's brother's daughter. Mm-hmm. No, I can't let this one go. I'm going to try to take her. I'm going to try to tag her along with me. Mm-hmm. We're going to go on this journey together. And it started messing with me, because I started realizing she didn't want to go on this journey. The one thing that I hate above everything else is people disrespecting the house of God.
Yes.
I hate when people do that. Mm-hmm. And that's just, I cannot. And my final sign before me and her fell out, the Sunday before that, we were in church. And she had it out with her boyfriend or whatever. But she was just cussing like we were not in church. During service. It wasn't even before service or after service. It was while my dad's up there preaching. You cussing and you dropping some heavy words. Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't just them little small cuss words that you see in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Like, no, you dropping, ma'am. Mm-hmm. You, like, stop. And she looked at me like I was wrong for telling her to stop cussing. Mm-hmm. And when I said, I'm not listening, I don't know. You're not about to degrade the house of God like this. Like, this is just a building to you, but to me, this is where I go to praise my Jesus. Mm-hmm. Like, the man who woke you up this morning. Mm-hmm. And you just in here cussing? Like, and not only cussing, but you talking about what you did with this man last night. Mm-hmm. Really? First of all, I never want to hear that anyway. Right. Even when you call me on the phone. But for you to tell me this in the house of God, bro, I didn't talk to her that whole week. She had been texting me all that. I did not talk to her that whole week. The very next Sunday, we fell out. And I said, I wish I would have listened to God, because
my thing.
That whole conversation, I know I should have, because that whole conversation probably would have never happened if.
Not only that, here's my question, and it's a question. Uh-oh. It's a deep question.
I gotta think.
You gotta think.
Oh God.
If she died tomorrow, God forbid, your last words to her was whatever. I don't want to hear that. I ain't listened to you, and you haven't talked to her. Mm-hmm. You haven't just said, you know what? I forgive you. You don't have to apologize. We don't have to be friends. We gotta. At this point, we don't even gotta be cousins. But I need to forgive you for myself. If she was to die tomorrow, how would that make you feel?
You want to know the honest truth?
I do.
I really don't think I would care.
Really?
I really don't. Because I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
Wow. Because
when she called me, I somewhat apologized to her. I said, well, I'm sorry you feel this way, but those were not my intentions. I feel good. I set myself straight. I feel like I would miss her.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so she knows I don't have any problems with her.
Okay.
Like, if she was to apologize to me today, we could go out to dinner. But I really don't think I would care. Pray for me.
I have to. Okay.
Love y'all. With that being said, all y'all pray for me, okay? Follow me on Instagram at It's Just Tanya. That's ITS period JUSTONYA _ yes.
And tune in every week Monday at 2:00 because I think that you're gonna touch a lot of people. It's gonna get deep, and I feel like if you get offended, hit the line, hit us up on Facebook. Hit that. I mean, seriously.
God's word is meant to offend. Sorry.
Yeah,
it ain't meant to sugarcoat.
And I feel like if you get offended, the shoe fit, put it on, wear it, and stunt that baby. Boy up. You feel me? Honestly.
Okay.
Call
What's the
in.
number one? 248. What's the rest of it? 797. Oh, sorry. 796. I'm going to memorize this. I'm bad with numbers. 8241. That's 248-796-8241.
Yes.
Holla at the
call.
player.
Hit her up on Facebook.
Listen.
Dope and Saved.
Don't forget to tune in to Kicking It every Wednesday at 2. Yes. Peace, baby.
Follow me on Instagram.